Welcome back to the show. Welcome to the conversation. Thank you for joining us on our YouTube channel. I'm here with my co-host. It's Tuesday with Tom Schmitz, radio personality from WOCA.
Hi, Sue.
Hi, Tom. How are you? We have a guest in the audience because it's season. You know, it's our favorite season.
It starts about 2 months after it ends.
Isn't that the truth? What month are we in? We're almost to March, so we're a little. It's now getting fiery.
Yeah, but there were people that declared in December and January.
I always try and tell people to wait till March or April, but So we have with us today newcomer to the political scene, but not a newcomer to the community. He's got a list of accomplishments that he's been doing for many years. Keith Poole is with us, local contractor from Keith A. Poole Construction. And Keith, would I be wrong if I said you're born and raised here?
I am born and raised.
You are born and raised in Marion County?
I was born in Orlando, actually, but I lived in Ocala most of my life.
Wow.
Yes,
all right.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, we are happy to have you on the conversation.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Keith, how are you?
I'm well. It's Youth Fair week, so we've been at the Youth Fair.
You've been a little busy.
We've been at the Youth Fair, yes, sir. Yes,
do you
sir.
have children that participate in the Youth Fair?
I do. I have 3 children. I have a senior, I have a freshman, and I have an 8th grader. And so they're all. We made the show last night, so we've done Skill-a-thon today, and so we have the big sale tonight. So anybody that's looking for a steer, come on out.
So tonight is the steer show.
Tonight is the steer sale.
Is Saturday the hog show? Or
Saturday,
the hog sale?
hog sale is
That's
Saturday.
the social event of the season,
Absolutely.
not to be missed. It's
Absolutely.
a who's who at the hog sale.
I'm gonna leave that
I
alone.
always enjoy the hog sale.
I'm gonna leave that alone.
Yeah, please do. Please do. I realized it after I got into it. I realized where you were going to go.
Softball.
You were going to
Softball.
lobbing them. That's what I do.
It is bike week as well. So
Yeah, well,
it is bike
the
week.
hog
Maybe I
sale,
just
bike
said
week.
bike
You know,
week.
you
That's
can
also
transition
not
it.
the hog I was thinking of.
It is. So Saturday is a big day. A big day. But Keith, you're one of the things that originally, while you were going to be on the show, we were going to talk about King of the Wing.
Absolutely.
And you had asked me to help you with that, and we are putting on the Marion County Builders Association, of which Keith is a past president. Is putting on the King of the Wing chicken wing competition April 7th, and there's some changes to that. So.
There are some changes to that. Our new location is going to be downtown Ocala, Citizen Circle, right there behind
City
Town
Hall.
Behind City Hall. It's going to be April the 7th. It's going to be a Thursday evening. It's going to be a great time. It's like a chili cook-off type of format, but it's for chicken wings. And so run what you brung. We want you to come out, bring your chicken wings. We're looking for competitors. If you've got a neighbor, if you've got another business that you're in rival with and you want to challenge them to come cook some chicken wings, it's a great opportunity. We have a new category this year. That category is called the Fry King. And so you can fry anything. It can be a pickle, it could be okra, it could be cheese sticks, something special. We've heard of some Oreo cookies out there.
That's a good idea.
Come out and we're going to have some prizes and some competitions for that. It's a Thursday evening downtown Ocala. Come out. Benefits the Arc of Marion and the Marion County Building Industry Association. So it's a great event. We were not able to have it last year due to some restrictions and some cancellations, as we're all aware of. But we're back in full force this year, and we're going to be downtown Ocala.
And King of the Wing, for those that don't know, is an annual event. It's been in Marion County for 15 or 18 years. It was always at Arc of Marion on Maricamp Road, so Arc sold their property. Somebody asked me if Arc was not going to be anymore. They're a nonprofit, so I can't say going out of business, but Arc is still servicing special needs people. And they just sold their property, so that's why we had to move our location for King of the Wing. I think downtown is really going to be exciting, and it'll be a nice networking opportunity. So looking forward to King of the Wing. We're working hard on that, and it'll be fun.
Good old boy from South Georgia ain't
And
scared
would
of
I
fried
be remiss
food.
if we did kind of say the builders have some financial incentive for people because of the cost of chicken wings?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So don't let the chicken wing scare of 2022 keep you from being in King of the Wing, because the Marion County Builders Association is willing to do some financial assistance for people that want to participate.
And any cardiologists out there that want to jump in as a sponsor, we welcome you to come on in.
You know, we could do a whole show on
chicken
why
wings.
we're short of chicken wings.
Which is actually a political topic. Which is a political topic.
It really is.
Okay, but the other thing, why Keith?
This is where I got to come in.
That's why I was waving my sleeve.
Keith is throwing his hat into the political ring. He's going to run against the incumbent Carl Zalek for Marion County Commission, and Rachel Sam's also in that grouping. Keith, I gotta ask you, what possesses a man to want to run for county commission?
That is a hot topic these days. So I filed to run on Wednesday. So today is Tuesday. So I filed to run just under a week ago.
Wow.
I'm fifth generation in Marion County. I've grown up here. I graduated high school from here. I went to Vanguard High School, graduated in 1995. I've raised my family here. I'm a local builder. I'm involved in many things in town, and the good Lord's put this on my heart. So that's the simple version of that. I'm one of those guys that if you're having an issue with something, you need to come with a solution. Don't just give me the problem, come with a solution. And so it's been on my heart, and so a lot of prayer, a lot of conversation throughout the community, and I feel this is the time. And so I'm at a spot in my life, not that I need another hat to wear, and I certainly don't need the job, and I don't need the money. It's about doing the right thing, and so this is my opportunity to give back to Marion County, the home that I love and where I grew up, and see what I can do.
Hold on, Sue. This is a person running for office that said they don't need the job or the money.
You know, that's my favorite thing, because what do I always say? If you're running for the office because you need a job, then you're not running for the right reason. So I applaud you for that, Keith. So at no point did I put a gun to your head and tell you what to do.
The gun may have been, what are you thinking?
Let the record reflect that I did not solicit Keith, that he has a mind of his own and a wife of his own that probably wouldn't appreciate me telling him what to do or him doing what I tell him. So either or.
Absolutely. So I've been involved in Marion County for a long time. I'm the past president of the Shrine Club. I'm in the Masonic fraternity. I'm past master of that fraternity. I've been involved. I mean, the Builders Association. I'm involved with the youth fair. We do a lot of fundraisers. We do rodeos. We do a lot of things. I get to interact in the community. So I've met a lot of people. I get to hear their displeasure. I get to hear what they're dealing with. And I'm a real small guy, as you can tell. You know, so I'm a real small guy, but I'm a vocal guy. I sit on the license review board. I'm involved with the building departments, both city and the county. I'm that guy. When they have a problem and they're dealing with an issue, they call. And so I don't know how I assumed that role. I'm not sure how that happened. It was just kind of a natural fit. So for me, it's not about Keith Poole. I'm not a politician. I'm not politically correct. That's not me. I'm working on my appearance. I'm working on all those good things.
I was just going to say, if I would have had anything to do with you or you running, you wouldn't be sitting here with a beard. You would not be sitting here with a beard. So
we have that ongoing
right there
debate.
should be witness enough that I didn't force him to
We
do
have that
anything.
ongoing debate going, and so we were going to put a little campaign out there and fun, shave it or keep it, and so see which one raises the most money.
That's great. We could put it out there right now, and we'd love to see that in the comments. What do you think from a political standpoint of a candidate running for office? Do you like a clean-shaven person or a person with the beard? There's actually another candidate who also has a beard, Paris Tanner, who filed for school board last week or this week, whenever. But he too has the beard. Now Greg Steen ran; he had the beard.
Not quite the way they have to be, but here's my suggestion. And don't listen to her.
It's the bearded movement. It's the bearded movement. Duck Dynasty to all those young guys out there. Duck Dynasty.
I love Duck Dynasty.
You are the person you are,
Absolutely.
and the beard is part of that person.
Absolutely.
To change just because you want to convince somebody you're capable of running for office, that would be like me changing, and that ain't never gonna happen.
Absolutely.
So be who you are and stick with who you are. I think that'll carry you a lot farther. Then what? And hey, she's the woman that knows politics, but I know something about being the person, owning the person you are. Although she owns who she is too.
Well, exactly. And I had to clean up a little bit to run for office, you know. But I did.
I had to clean up a little bit to come on the show today.
I did ask the
Radio's a beautiful thing. Radio's a beautiful thing.
I did ask the question the other day it was actually Paris Tanner. Do you know any politician in office or who's ever been in office that has a beard?
Abraham Lincoln.
That was the answer.
Absolutely.
And I had forgotten about that.
I believe we have a senator in Texas
But
that also has a
Chester
beard.
Arthur had a beard and mustache. Look, I can give you presidents. A bunch of presidents had it. Grover Cleveland. Look, we can do that all day.
Well, okay.
But the man that was the leader of the Republican Party, Abraham Lincoln,
Abraham Lincoln. I had forgotten about that, so that is very good. I mean, and it was a scraggly beard.
I think I have a few more pounds on Abraham Lincoln. So.
Well, yeah, maybe you wear a stovepipe hat and we'll link it
By the
together.
way, Lincoln, true story. He is in the Wrestling Hall of Fame, not the wrestling, the Wrestling Hall of Fame, because when he was a younger kid, he would wrestle at county fairs and everything. He is in the Wrestling Hall of Fame, where pro wrestling are. Abraham Lincoln is in
You
that
said
Hall of
not
Fame.
wrestling, but wrestling, is that two different things, or one is
One
a
is
southern term?
One is collegiate style, and one
Oh,
is
gotcha, okay.
TV style.
You know, I always say Tom is a plethora of useless information and, just like a regular encyclopedia. But let me say this, Tom, Sheila, and myself are open to anybody who wants to come on this show and conversate with us. Politically, non-politically, but especially candidates. I have had a conversation with Carl Zalek. He is going to come on the show hopefully next week. I have not heard from Rachel Mangum. I don't know her personally, so if she reaches out, I'd certainly love to have her or anybody else running for office. So I don't want anybody to think we're promoting one candidate over another. We're just having a conversation. So in saying that, Keith, let's talk about some political things that not necessarily, some may be pressing, some may not be pressing. One of the things that is going to be of very great interest to me this go round in the county commission races is term limits. Both Kathy Bryant and Carl Zalek are going on their fourth term. I have said it, I've been very vocal, it's not necessarily personally directed to them, but serving as an elected official for 8 years, I believe you do all you can do in 8 years, and you become somewhat stale, somewhat complacent. You become very personally involved with staff, so then staff gets more leverage. These are just my personal opinions. So where do you stand on term limits?
So I'm a proponent of term limits. I really am. Again, I don't need this job. I don't feel that you get into politics for a career. That's not my opinion. I don't want to be here. It's a calling to be here. And so for me, yes, I agree that we need term limits. I think the debate needs to be, what are those term limits? What is practical? What is real? This is my first time getting into politics. I've been to many county commission meetings. I've spoke at many county commission meetings at the local level. I believe there needs to be some type of policy in place for that, and I think the voters need to decide on what that is. I also think when we're talking about term limits, we need to talk about our districts, and we need to talk about where does that vote come from. And so if you live in District 4 and you vote District 4, that's normally not where the vote is decided. It's decided in another quadrant of the county. And so the cost to become a county commissioner is exorbitant because you have to cover the entire county for a district-wide race. And so I think that needs to be talked about in the same conversation. I value the public's opinion. I mean, I think we need to vote on it. I think it needs to be put out there, whether it be through a referendum, whatever that is, we need to work that mechanism.
Let me give you a great starting point on term limits.
All right.
If 8 years was enough for George Washington, it's enough for everybody.
Absolutely.
I agree. Well, and we say that a president is 8 years.
Right.
If the leader of our country serves for 8 years, and there's a reason for that, why aren't? And I believe term limits on all levels. No, I'm not just attacking local.
We should make a 4-year term limit on the guy that's in the White House right now. Maybe even a 3-year term limit.
Well, one thing to keep in mind is perception is reality.
Yeah.
And so when you sit back and you look, whether there's improprieties or not improprieties, the opportunity is there. And so if you minimize that, we need a new set of eyes, we need a new vision, we need a new perspective, and that's where we're at. It's not personal. It's not one of those things. It's a service to your county. It's a service to your country. That's why we're citizens. That's why we register to vote. That's why we have the freedoms that we have today. So in my opinion, I believe term limits are a good thing. I would like to open that dialogue and that conversation of what that should be. Is that 8 years? Is that 12 years? I don't really know. I don't have that information in front of me, but I believe as a group, as a community, as a county, I believe we could come up with that. And we have some very educated folks out there that could lead guidance on that. And what are the pros? What are the cons? I certainly believe 12 years is way too much. I think if you are trying to go for 16 years in office, you might want to look at your motives. You might want to do some soul searching and look and see where you're at and determine why you're there. What's your focus? What have you not accomplished that you wanted to accomplish? And why haven't you met those goals? If it took you 12 years to figure out those goals, something's wrong there. And so that's part of my motivation for that. We have, again, I'm in the building industry. That's what I do. I believe growth is an important obstacle that we need to deal with in Marion County. And I think it needs to be managed. I think it needs to be focused. And I think we need to be ahead of the curve. Whether that be the fire department or the sheriff's department or our roads or our water or our sewer, those are all hot button topics. We need to have a plan. We need to know where we're at and where we're going. People love Marion County for a reason. It's our way of life. It's what we do here. I welcome people to come to Marion County, but let's manage that. Let's control that. Let's work through that. Let's not lose why we're here and why they want to come here. That's where I'm at as a builder.
A lot of people would say here in the last couple election cycles, a lot of people from the building industry have stepped up and started running for office. You had city council, you had electricians running, you had builders running, you had real estate agents who know builders that ran. Now you're yourself a builder, you're running for county commission. A lot of people say that builders got us in trouble in 2008 because we were very, very small, centric in what we did as we weren't very diversified as a community. We were builders and the horse industry. And now the builders are starting to try to get into public politics, and people think the builders are trying to take over. What would you say to somebody that says, maybe there's enough builders in political power already?
Tom, what do you live in?
I live in a house.
Miss Sue, what do you live in?
I live in a home.
Well, guess what? We all have to live in something. So you need builders. These folks are coming to Marion County, and I'm not sure what our statistic numbers are now, but we're probably close to 400,000 people in Marion County.
375,000 and about 100 a week, about 100 a month are moving to Marion County.
So they need a place to live.
And so we're short right now.
Absolutely. We have a pitfall. We're 7,000 homes short right this moment to meet the demand with nobody else coming to this town. Zero coming to this town. So you live in Marion County, you raise your family here, they graduate from high school, if they choose to go to college, vocational school, whatever that is, and they want to come back to Marion County. They want to come back. They want to live by mom and dad.
Well, and we want them to come back.
Absolutely.
We need our doctors, our lawyers,
so they
our service
They
people.
want to live by mom and dad in the northeast side of town, and they want to buy their first home. Where are they going to get it? It's not out there. The inventory's not there right now for that person to go buy their home. They can't afford it. The average mean price right now in Marion County is over $220,000. Well, a young person that just graduated college or is in the workforce that's coming out that's making $35,000 a year, $40,000 a year, they can't afford that house. So that's what Marion County can bring to them. We can have affordable housing, we can have quality of life, but guys, we need builders. We need to have subdivisions that we can build in. We have 8 of the top 10 builders in the country in Marion County right now. What does that tell you about the dynamics of where we're at? People want to be here. So
let me interrupt you on that because I want to speak to that issue because it gets a bad rap about the builders and the subcontractors. You mentioned electricians and things like that. I'm a realtor. There's no secret about that. My father was a building contractor. He was a past president of the Home Builders Association. My husband was a concrete contractor for 30 years. We had a concrete business. Everything is a trickle-down effect of a contractor. The concrete man, the electrician, the plumber, the painter, the wallpaper sales company, Sherwin-Williams, the suppliers, Lowe's. So it's not just about the contractor when we have people in the building industry step out to run.
And I look at it in a different way. I look at it, what you just said, all that works, but it's also the banks. And
Sure.
the department stores and the restaurants.
And they go to restaurants and they got to eat and they go to bars and they drink.
You said something there, Mr. Tom, that I want to go back on. You said that we were part of the fall of the economy. Well, that wasn't the case. What happened was construction stopped because of the banking industry. Mm-hmm. Construction stopped because of mortgages. What we learned from the crash is our industry was huge. It was vital to the success of Marion County. Mm-hmm. And so the trickle-down effect, which is what you're talking about, started with the contractors, worked all the way down through the subs, the suppliers, the banks, the realtors, the doctors, the nurses. All of those folks were affected because our industry was affected and we went cold. Mm-hmm. Guys, history repeats itself.
Yeah,
and I'm
we're
telling
about to
you,
see it again with supply and demand.
I will tell you, there's a reason that we are stepping up and getting involved in politics. The decisions that are going to be made in the next 4 years, the next 8 years, are going to greatly affect our industry and our way of life in this town.
Well, and I want to ask you about that because you hear there's two words that I know are dirty words in the building industry, and I know why, but I think people need to understand why and how astronomical they can be and how a deterrent they can be to the building industry. Impact fees. that it can stop work just in its tracks.
And it has.
And it
in
has.
this county. We've absolutely seen it.
I'm glad that you brought that up. Obviously, anybody can play the tapes back. I've spoken at many county commission meetings in regards to impact fees. The Builders Association and the CEP several years ago partnered together to come up with a strategy to address impact fees. And so impact fees have a fallacy about them. To the general public, they look at an impact fee and they think, hey, that's the builder developer paying his fair way to build a home or to build a subdivision in the community. That's not accurate. That's not what that is. It's a fallacy. You're going to collect a one-time fee for the life of that home to be in a community. Well, what's the average life expectancy of a home? 25, 30, 40, 50 years, depending on what it is. So you're going to spend, right now, impact fees are $1,500 to $2,500. Back in the boom, they were $10,000. You're going to spend 10 grand for 30 years. Well, that's not beneficial. That doesn't fix the roads, the water, the sewer, and all of the things that we have. So what we decided was, first, we didn't want impact fees. Bottom line, I don't agree with impact fees. I believe it's a tax on the homeowner, regardless of what you want to call it, in a fee, in a permit, in a collection. It's a tax. Put it where it is. So we're taxing that homeowner to build their home. When in essence, what we need to do is spread that out over multiple things in order to generate the revenue to take care of our infrastructure, which is what it was designed for. Now, I was a proponent of, if we are going to do the impact fees, let's reduce the rate. So what we've done is we have our impact fee set at a rate. We're only collecting 20% of that rate right now. So in the negotiations with the county, that's what we work through. Here's something that happened in those negotiations. We went from a 4-quadrant system to a 2-quadrant system. Now, to the normal person, that doesn't make any sense. What does all of that mean? Well, the way the state statute is written is that impact fee has to be used in the quadrant that it was collected. So we have our 4 quadrants: northeast, northwest, southeast, southwest. That money needed to be used in those quadrants. Well, in negotiations, that became a 2-quadrant system.
West and east.
And so I-75 is the divide line there. So there's some litigation that has happened in some of our northern counties where that has been challenged and what is going on there. And so that conversation will be had in Marion County. I guarantee you within the next 12 months to 16 months, that will be a conversation that's going to be had. We need to be on the forefront of that. First, we need to go back and relook at impact fees. The partnership that we talked about with the MCBIA and the CEP was for the 1-cent sales tax. In that 1-cent sales tax, what we realized was we can help the first responders, being the fire department and the sheriff's department, and we can help the road infrastructure portion of Marion County. It has been extremely successful. We raised more money in the first year with the 1-cent sales tax than the impact fee could have ever come up with in 13 years. It was unbelievable. It was just an absolute amount of money.
And 30% of 30% of it's paid by non-Marion County residents.
Absolutely. And so that's a 1-cent sales tax that has been phenomenal. And so that fund right now to date, and I don't know the exact numbers, Miss Sue, but I believe it's close to $170 million we've generated off of that impact fee, or that 1-cent sales tax alone. It is going to be a discussion that's going to come back up in this term cycle of 4 years. It does sunset. And so I know the CEP, that is an agenda item that we are working on with them to help keep that going.
Yeah, I believe sales tax is definitely the better avenue. It's painless for the most part to the average resident.
I believe a flat tax everywhere is the most painless, where you just, if something costs $100, you pay $115 for it, and $15 goes to tax.
Isn't that called property taxes?
No, but I think it should be. But I think it should be on cars, jeans, everything. And it would be much easier than no income tax. That way you get all your money to spend how you see fit to spend it, and the taxes are collected on the back end when you spend the money, not when you make the money.
Let me throw it out there, because I don't want to be remiss and not mention this, and I personally see this a lot. People forget about the impact of the schools and children when people move into Marion County. When we have growth, when we have new construction, everybody comes with 2 to 5 children, and you have to build schools accordingly. We went through that in the crash. I was actually on the board. We were trying to effectively catch up to growth because the school system wasn't building schools as needed, and I brought that forward, that there was all these new subdivisions coming. There was all this growth in 2002 when I got on the board, and then by 2011 we'd seen the crash, which again, we're seeing that with the influx of people moving here. They're bringing children. That, if we don't have effective growth and we don't have schools to handle effective growth, where are these children going to be educated? I mean, we're seeing a lot of homeschooling now, but they still, for the most part, people want to send their children to public schools. And, so it all goes hand in hand with what you're saying. Concurrency on roads and, infrastructure and all of that. So,
again, that's reactive. We've been in a reactive mode, not a proactive mode.
Yes.
And so we've gone to this concept of mega schools. And so I think the partnership between the school board and the county commission needs to be rekindled.
That was where I was going.
It needs to be rekindled. You need to have those conversations, and maybe we don't need mega schools.
Yeah.
Maybe we need schools back in the communities where they're at and work through some of that.
And unfortunately, right now, in my opinion, I think that the county commissioners treat the school board members like orphan children. They always have, and they never want to work together because there's an ego thing in place. So, but you have to. I mean, it used to be in the state that the school board had to sign off on new subdivisions. A lot of people don't know that, so they really need to work hand in hand because. Otherwise, we'll have a mess again where we don't have anywhere to educate our children.
I'm not real sure anybody needs to work with this school board right now.
Well, we do need to work with them, and we do need to.
Tom said that.
We do need to figure out that process and what we need to do. Our future are our children. And so what we have learned over this last decade is we have indoctrinated our children that they must go to college. If they don't go to college, they're not going to be successful. And there are children out there that are just not going to go to college. That doesn't make them any less of a person. What we have to let them know is there's vocational training, and there are things out there that will be beneficial to them. And oh, by the way, they can make a really good living at it. Let me bring the plumbers in. Let me bring the electricians in their big boats and let you go out and go fishing with them. And so one of the big push that we've had with the Builders Association is internship programs and mentoring programs and apprentice programs. My goal to work with the school board and to get these programs into the middle schools. We've lost the high school level. We're beyond that. 100%. These kids are locked into their phones. They're locked into their electronics. They don't want to pick up a hammer. They don't want to pick up a shovel. That's not going to happen. But let me tell you what, you get to the middle school and you let that little 6th grader go into shop class and make a birdhouse for his mom or a gun rack, and I know that's polarizing, we can't talk about guns and all that good stuff, but make a gun rack or make a wooden spoon for their mom that they could take home that they could get spanked with, or a paddle or whatever. You put that into their hands, it's life-changing.
I have a brother-in-law who works at the Jacksonville shipyards as a welder. Mm-hmm. He is high school educated, Ed White High School in Jacksonville, Florida, and then the West Side Skills Center, and then he went to a welding school that he spent 6 months as an apprentice.
Yes, sir.
I went to Georgia Southern University, went to Appalachian State University, got a master's degree in history, an undergraduate degree in social science education, secondary. I could teach high school.
Yes, sir.
If I went into my chosen profession and taught at a college like CF, which I could teach at, what he makes at the Jacksonville shipyards, he still makes about $45,000 more than I could make at CF as a professor.
Well, and part of what we're faced with, part of a big impact on the construction industry is the lack of skilled labor. I saw that was part of the demise of my concrete business because we couldn't get skilled concrete finishers. It is an art form. It's not something everybody can do. I have a very, very close friend who's a plumbing contractor, and he just can't get employees. You can't, and then you want to teach them on the job. Nobody really wants to learn. They don't want to show up for work. They want to work 3 out of 5 days. The construction industry in Marion County, especially subcontractors, is a very hard job. We're in Florida. The heat is ridiculous. The summer heat, these guys are out on roofs, digging footers, plumbing.
Miss Sue, it starts at home. It starts at home. It starts with mom and dad. It starts at home with mom and dad. And that young child, and holding them responsible, holding them accountable, teaching them that it's okay to go outside and get dirty.
We're teaching our children how to play video games. Absolutely. That's all we're teaching them.
Well, because we're not engaged with them. The easy way is to give them a phone, to give them an iPad, and go away. We don't want to deal with you. We don't want to interact. Listen,
I really like the middle school.
Prayer in schools, prayer at dinner, eating together, those are the key things that we're missing as a country. We bring those things back, you're going to see some changes. You're going to see some foundational changes that need to happen.
The problem is you get fought at every step of the way to bring them back. I remember I tried to bring back prayer in school at the local level in Marion County, and the AC, what is it, the American Civil Liberties, what is it?
ACLU.
The ACLU was, I announced it at a board meeting, and the next morning they were at my front door.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. But, I went to West Nassau High School in Callahan, Florida. It was a travesty when one kid that was in the band said that he was being forced to listen to the prayer before the football game because he was an agnostic. And the ACLU came, and the county in Nassau County, the school board said, "You got to put a kibosh on that." I thought we were going to riot as students and families, and this was 1982, 83. So this has been an argument, especially in the Deep South Bible Belt, for a very long time.
It's sad. It's sad that, we will change, and we've had this discussion. Things are changed over one person's opinion. And, it's like the big joke that's going around right now about taking Aunt Jemima off the pancake syrup. Did it fix the world? Did it fix anything? Taking these statues down. Do we have world peace yet? I don't think we do. I didn't wake up to it.
It's made it harder to find the syrup in the grocery store.
It does. Because it's so funny because I'm not a big syrup buyer, but I needed something other, and it's like a word. It's like two words. It's like a company. I was like, is that
the one that's the biggest joke, and people missed it about 15 years ago, 15 years ago. There was a big discussion, and it happened that the General Mills food took the protuberance off Mrs. Buttersworth because somebody was offended that her protuberances were so large. And one guy was like, "But I'm losing an ounce of syrup." And it was a big deal that if you go look at a Miss Buttersworth now, if you go look at Miss Buttersworth now,
they gave her a breast reduction.
They gave her a breast none.
Flat chested now.
Yeah. But it's just that one person. And I know every time that I say that, the Constitution gives everybody individual rights. So I understand that the pesky Constitution gets in the way, but sometimes we gotta have something called common sense step in.
It doesn't take away your freedoms. And so I should still be able to believe in God. I should still be able to have those things. It doesn't negate me. You're absolutely more than welcome to say your opinion and how you feel, but you can't infringe on mine either. And so there's a happy medium there to work through that. Again, I'm not politically correct. I know those are polarizing things and topics. I am me. I'm Keith, and I'm going to be me. And
that's why he needs to leave the beard.
I
needs to leave the beard.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap up the show in just a minute. Before we do, I just wanted to say again that anybody is welcome to come on this show should you choose to endure this. We'd love to have you. I want people to put in the comments should Keith be Keith, or should
100%.
Keith shave the beard and put on a white shirt and a tie and maybe a black jacket and a whole suit thing, which he tells me
we are going to do a fundraiser soon. We are going to do a fundraiser, but none of the money's going to go to me or my campaign. The money is going to go to charity, and so we're going to pick a charity for that. And so it'll be shave it or leave it, and so we'll get a campaign kicked off. There'll be more to come on that. My wife would love for me to shave my beard, by the way. She does not like my beard, but my kids love it. I did trim the mullet up a little back, so we were going through some campaign slogans, and some of my good friends said, "This mullet's for you." So we were working through some campaign stuff, but we have hammered down on a good slogan, and it's going to be Pool Together. So my last name is Poole, so we're going to pool together, and we're going to try to bring this community back and lead it in a good direction.
Well, that's awesome. That's excellent. Thank you for humoring Tom and I and doing this.
Thank you for deciding you wanted to be a part of this circus.
we certainly, we will certainly have you on again. Of course, when is the election? I don't even know.
The primary is going to be August the 23rd. So August 23rd, 2022. So it's coming up. We're right around the corner. We are in campaign mode. We are looking for signatures. Our goal is to have 3,000 signatures and $30,000 raised by the end of March. And so we have to date. I've been a candidate now for
6 days.
6 days.
6 calendar days, only business days. We filed Wednesday afternoon, so Thursday, Friday, Monday. So 3 days, we're on our 4th day. We've raised $6,500.
Wow.
So that will be on our first campaign accounting report. Hey, that's a whole nother animal there, is doing the campaign accounting. So I have my campaign treasurer out there. Mr. Rock Saunders is my campaign treasurer. And so Rock has taken the lead on that. He's
Rock
going to make
is
sure.
a former deputy Marion County Sheriff.
Retired captain with the Sheriff's Department. So he's also a builder.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Rock was a builder. And so, but good guy. I do need to put a plug out, Sue, just one little plug. The Ocala Shrine Rodeo is celebrating its 40th year this year. And so that will be Labor Day weekend. It's going to be Friday and Saturday, Labor Day weekend. I've been the chairman of that event now for several years. It's a big part of my heart, big part of my family. So I just want to put a shameless plug out there for the Ocala Shrine Rodeo.
You can always plug a nonprofit, anything.
Well, we support around 300 children locally out of that fundraiser and out of our local
Support
club.
them in what capacity?
So what we do is we raise $1.5 million a day collectively as Shriners. And so we had 22 hospitals around the country and around the world. And what we've done is in our business model, we've realized with the HIPAA rules and the regulations that are going on with hospitals, for us to have a hospital, our closest hospital was in Tampa, Florida. It was an orthopedic. We had a partnership with the University of South Florida. What was happening was we would do X number of surgeries there. But to be accredited, you had bed space. You had to keep staff on 24 hours a day to maintain that accreditation. What we realized is we can partner with a clinic or a local place, which we've now partnered with Shands, the University of Florida, and so we offer those same services on a smaller scale, and we don't have to maintain that style of accreditation to perform
Because the
skills.
hospital itself is already maintaining that
Exactly.
accreditation.
The hospital is already there. So that is our newest partnership. That is all being rolled out. You know, it's being rolled out now. That will be a whole lot more vocal what's going on out there. But in the big picture, we raise $1.5 million a day for our children, for our hospitals. Locally, we have about 300 kids that are involved in different variations. We used to, in years past, do a Princess and Buckaroo, and those are heartwarming things. When you see those kids come out there, the story is when they come back 15, 20 years later, and they can walk and they tell you what happened and give their story. We have ambassadors. You can go to Ocala Shrine Club, I believe ocalashrine.com. There's shriners.org. There's numerous websites that you can read about it. It's a phenomenal fraternity, phenomenal organization, and our passion is children. That's what we do. So.
But they have this scary picture hanging in the Shrine Club. It's a clown.
So that is Brother Watson.
Yeah.
That is Brother Watson. Brother Watson was the brain.
I'm scared of clowns. And
Tom is scared.
we did a
of clowns.
celebration of life for Marshall Ryder there, and I'm sitting right next to the picture without realizing it, and they pointed out, gone.
That is a portrait.
snakes.
That's a portrait of Brother
Yeah.
Watson. He was actually a Shriner, and he was the brainchild before Cans for Kids.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had a partnership for some dumpsters that you see in the parking lot today. We also have one down in the villages, and you can come bring your cans, your recycled cans, to us. And those dumpsters generate almost $10,000 a year in recycled. Now, we don't want anybody to come steal the cans. That's not what it's about. But we don't want trash. We just want cans. So if you come with bags of cans, you can dump them in there. Please take the bags with you. Just dump the cans in. And so that is a great partnership.
And that's on Mary Camp.
That's on Mary Camp Road.
Shriners.
Yep, 4301 Southeast Mary Camp Road. But that is Brother Watson. He was a phenomenal man. He was very involved in our
Scares
community.
me, I'll be honest with you.
Listen, those kids loved him. They absolutely loved him. He would dress up, and he was old when he passed away. He was in his mid to late 80s, I'm sure. I can't remember the exact age.
We miss all the older Shriners at the Christmas parade. They always were on the train.
Yes,
the
ma'am.
clowns came.
Yes,
the
yes.
guys in the go-karts and
Dune buggies.
Not
Anybody wants to be a Shriner or a Mason, you got to ask one to be one. So we would love for you to reach out, ask us what it is, and we'd be happy to share what we love and what we do and our passion.
Very good. Well, Keith, you have so many things to promote, and I love that. Don't forget, you can get your tickets online for King of the Wing. We have a Facebook page. Just put in King of the Wing 2022. There's an Eventbrite link to that. Please like and subscribe to this channel if you want to see more of our content. If not, we're good with that too. Put in the comments whether or not Keith should shave or not shave.
No.
And other than that, thank you for joining us. Oh, I will be having the mayor, Kent Gwynn, on in the next couple of weeks because I am working with him and a committee to do an Olympic celebration. We're bringing in the Olympians that won medals, Brittany Bowe, Aaron, and Joey.
Yep.
And they will be coming in April 8th and April 9th. We will be having several events those 2 days that will culminate with there'll be a black tie dinner. There'll be several things downtown on the square. There'll be several things over at the Martin Luther King Center. And there will be a parade. I almost said Christmas parade. There will be a parade Saturday the 9th at 5 p.m. celebrating them. So Tom, give us the close, and we're gonna thank you, Keith, for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Hashtag pool together. Pool together.
Poole.
Yes, ma'am. Pool with an E.
And as Sue and I always say, all we ask is you be part of the conversation.
That's right.
Have a good afternoon.
Thank you.